Hey, what is up? I'm Stacy, love from Stacy, and I am here with Pilates for better sex today. That's right, we're going there. As a mom, and if you're a mom too, then you'll know that we need things that are quick, powerful, and efficient because life is busy. So today's 15-minute class is short and powerful, and it's designed to help you reconnect with your core, both your physical core, but also your feminine core, right? Your like womanness inside. Life is busy, motherhood is intense, and that's why sex and sexuality and our sexual health often take the back seat. Everything else is demanding our attention first and foremost. But reality check, pleasure, power, and your pelvic floor matter. They matter on so many levels. So we've only got 15 minutes. Let's do this, okay? Let's go wake things up. Okay, all you need is a mat. That's it. You don't need anything else, just a mat and your body. I will say that our entire attention will be on our core and our pelvic floor. So to get the most out of this class, what you'll want to do is whenever we're exhaling, you want to lift up the pelvic floor. So you can imagine that you have a napkin laying out on the floor and you grab in the middle of the napkin, you gently grab it and start pulling it up. That is what you want to imagine doing with your pelvic floor. You want to imagine that you're gathering and lifting all at the same time. So that's essentially what a Kegel is, right? We're gathering and lifting, but we don't want things to get unbalanced. So just as important as it is to strengthen and activate the pelvic floor, we also want to relax and release it because there is such a thing as too much tension in our pelvic floor. So in order to balance that, what we're going to do is as we inhale, we're going to release the pelvic floor. So when we inhale, it's a relax. And as we exhale, we gather everything up and we lift. So you can imagine in between your belly button and your spine is where we want everything to gather. So front to back is coming in, pelvic floor is lifting up. So we're trying to gather everything together in between the spine and the belly button. All right, let's dive in. Like I said, we've got 15 minutes, so let's not waste any time. Okay, tabletop position. We're going to have our knees directly below our hips and our hands right below our shoulders. So chances are you've done a cat-cow before, so you'll know that we're going to inhale, tilt the pelvis up, gaze comes forward, and then as we exhale, we're going to start the wave from the tailbone. We're going to curl the tailbone under and then ride that wave all the way through the spine, dropping the chin to the chest. Okay, so there's our basic movement. But in today's class, we're going to focus on, as we inhale, we're going to relax the pelvic floor, and as we exhale, we curl in, we're going to lift the pelvic floor up. Good. Inhale, relaxing and releasing. Exhale, we're going to curl everything in and lift the pelvic floor. Good. Let's just do a few more of these. If it feels a little bit awkward or clunky, that's okay. It takes practice. And just give yourself some grace and some space to practice this without any judgment, right? If it's your first time doing something like this, as long as you're showing up and making an effort, I promise you it's going to be better than if you didn't. Okay, let's do one more of these. And bring yourself back to center. And this is where we have a neutral spine. So we're neither tilting the pelvis or curling things under. We want to have a natural curve in the lower spine. Now what we'll do is let's walk our right toes out behind us and our left fingers out in front of us. And as we exhale, we're going to draw the belly button back towards the spine, lift the pelvic floor, and lengthen both the arm and the leg. So this is our starting position. Okay, so we're going to inhale here to prepare. As we exhale, draw the knee and the elbow together in that same angry cat motion. Remember, we're lifting the pelvic floor. Inhale to reset. Exhale. Everything draws in. Inhale to lengthen and relax. Exhale, everything is going to draw in. Good. So let's do a few more here. Lengthening, exhale, belly button draws towards the spine as the pelvic floor lifts. Good, 2 more. And last one, find nice long length and release down to the mat. We'll just take that right away to the other side. So now the right fingertips are going to come out in front, left toes are going to be behind. I'm falling off of my mat here. Good, and we'll hold that neutral spine position. Exhale, abdominals contract to support our spine. So our core is already working while we're even just holding this position. Inhaling here, as you exhale, drawing everything back together. And inhale to lengthen. Good, exhale, pelvic floor lifts, belly button draws back. And inhale, balancing things out by lengthening and releasing. Good. Two more. And on this last one, nice long hold. Exhale, draw it all in. And return back through center. Let's tuck the toes and we're just gonna hover in our tabletop here. So again, just check in and make sure you're holding that neutral spine, so we don't want to be arching or curling under. Nice natural curve of the spine. As you exhale, go ahead and draw the pelvic floor up. You'll notice right away, you can really feel this, especially because we have nothing else going on. We're just gonna hold here. Nice steady breath in. You can relax the pelvic floor, and as you exhale, remember, draw everything up. For 3, 2, and slowly release. Awesome. We're gonna walk our hands out about the length of our hand and tuck the toes again. Let's just lift it into a downward dog and let our core and our pelvic floor relax. Maybe walking the dog out a little bit. As you inhale, start to ripple the spine forward into a plank. Exhale, bend the knees and send it back up into a downward dog. One more time. Inhale, rippling forward. Belly button is really drawing back towards the spine. Exhale, pelvic floor lifts. And extend back into your downward dog. Good. Rolling forward to a plank, knees come down. We're gonna lower down onto our right hand side. If you wanna go on your left side, don't even worry about it, that's cool. We're gonna do the other side, so don't worry. All right, so when we come down into a side lying position, it's really easy to just kind of relax into the mat. I mean, it feels good, right? But what we want to be sure of is that we're not totally relaxing our core. So the way we do this is we'll come into a nice long line here and check in. If your top hip is curling in and your body is relaxing down into the mat, then what we need to do is draw the top hip down. And you can check in and see your toes should line up, and you should feel an activation in the side body here. And now, even just in this position, let's take a couple breaths to activate our pelvic floor and our core. So now we've got our hip is guiding or leading down towards our toes. We're activated in the side body, so we're holding this position. And now let's draw the pelvic floor up as we exhale. Good. Now inhale as you relax the pelvic floor. See if you can still hold this position. And then again, exhale, everything draws together. Good. All right, so I'm gonna say chances are you may not have engaged your core and your pelvic floor in this way before. So just remember that it takes practice, and that is okay. All right, so let's take a soft bend in our bottom leg, and our top leg is gonna be in line with our body. And your head can just be gently relaxed down onto your bottom arm. And we're just gonna begin really nice and easy with some simple leg circles. So I am reaching my toe almost as if there was something just beyond my foot that I'm trying to touch. And so this creates length and activation all the way up my leg into my groin and my core. So now while we have this simple motion of the leg circles going, go ahead and bring your awareness to the pelvic floor and the core and make sure everything is drawing in. Good. Here we go. 3 and 2. Nice, soft, slow movements. And then change the direction. Remembering every exhale, you're I don't want to say squeezing, that feels really like contractive, but we're definitely lifting and pulling everything together. Okay, let's do 3 and 2. Last one. All right, let's bring that leg back to its starting position. We're going to point the toes down so we have an internal rotation. And as we exhale, we're going to lift. Inhale, return back to center, maybe even tapping the toe lightly on the floor. Exhale. So we want to make sure that we're only lifting as high, sorry, I cannot see. We're only lifting as high as we can without sacrificing this side body we have here. Oh, hi, Tika. Tika, you little blah blah. Teeks, you're in the video, honey. Good. Keeping those toes pointed down. We're going to do 3. Oh, here comes Tucker. 2. And last one, slowly lower it down. Go ahead and press yourself up out of your mess of dogs. This is why in the morning when I do yoga, I have a room in my house that is dedicated to just coziness. We call it the cozy room. And I go in there and I close the door so that my dogs don't crawl all over me while I'm trying to do my yoga. All right, let's come right down onto the other side. You guys, no, Tucker, Tika, out of here. Come on, let's go. Tika, what's this? Tika, what's this? Suckers. Joke's on me, it didn't work. Okay, so coming back down into that side lying position, same thing. We're gonna lay down, we're gonna draw the top hip down towards our feet. This is only 2 of my 3 dogs. My other dog, he's got too much arthritis and he's too fat, so he doesn't really walk around too much. He's like 150 pounds. So if he comes, he's gonna block everything. Okay, top hip is drawing down towards our feet. We're active in our side body, and then we're gonna take a soft bend in that bottom knee to support ourselves, and then just let our head relax down onto our bottom arm. Again, we're just coming into these nice little side-lying circles here. This is great for the glutes, but it also gives us a chance to explore moving our leg while activating the pelvic floor. So belly button is drawing back towards the spine. Pelvic floor lifts with every exhale. Inhale, you can release. Exhale. See that? Do you feel that? I guess you can't really see my pelvic floor. That'd be weird. Okay, 2, and last one. Go ahead and change the direction. Checking in, is your hip creeping up to your shoulder, or are you still keeping it drawn down towards the feet? So we're going to change that direction. Well, no, don't do it again. If you did, we just want to make sure we do front and back. Good. For 3 and 2. And last one. Awesome. Tika baby. Good. Okay, so keeping our leg in position, we're just going to turn the toes down towards the floor so we're internally rotating our hip. Tika, you little blah blah. Okay, as we exhale, we're going to lift. Inhale, slowly lower to tap. Exhale, lift. Good. Oh, thanks, Teeks. Good. And again, making sure, that now the dogs are gonna come wrestle on top of me. Making sure that we're keeping that top hip drawing down towards our feet. For 3 and 2. Good, last one. Slowly lower it down. Go ahead and press yourself up. I'm gonna face the other way so that maybe my dogs won't be in my face. And then we're gonna slowly lower ourselves down onto our back. All right, so again, chances are you've probably done a bridge lift before. So our feet are going to be planted on the mat about, not hip distance apart, I would say sit bones distance apart, so not too wide. And be aware of using the inner thighs a little bit here to stop the knees from splaying out when you're coming into a bridge lift.
So the focus here is that as we exhale and when we're going to lift the hips, we're going to be activating the pelvic floor muscles. So inhale to prepare. We have a natural curve in the spine. As we exhale, we begin to pull up the pelvic floor, tilt the pelvis in, and then go ahead and press all the way up to the top. Good. Inhale here and exhale. Everything pulls together as we lower. Good. And again, just remember to pay attention to the inner thighs and making sure that we're holding those knees straight up and down. Good. Inhaling at the top. And exhale. Everything draws together as we slowly lower, rolling through the spine like a wave. Good. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale. Pelvic floor lifts. Good. Inhaling at the top and slowly lower down. Good. On this last one, when we lift up to the top, we're going to hold there. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, everything draws together first, and then we're lifting, holding here at the top. So from here, we're going to leave our hips lifted. As we exhale, we're going to lift one knee up to a tabletop, back down, and then other side. Good. Inhale, back down. Exhale to lift. Inhale, back down. Holding everything together in our core. So our glutes are actually part of our core, believe it or not. They work in conjunction with our core muscles. So we actually can't get too big of a booty unless we have muscles, unless we have a balanced core and vice versa, because they balance each other out front and back. Good. For 3, 2, last one. Good. Bringing it back to center. Press the hips up to the top. And now we're going to just do some gentle hip circles. So while we have our hips lifted, we're going to inhale, circling down and around. Exhale all the way up at the top. Good. Inhale down and around. Inhale up and over. Good. Imagining that you have a string and you are weaving your body around the string. For 3 and 2. Last one. Good. Let's go ahead and change the direction. So I'm going to inhale down and around the opposite way, and then exhale up and over. And I'm really taking my time to move slowly, to work through my pelvic floor, to feel my muscles activating. Good. For 3 and 2. Last one. Good. And then slowly roll yourself down, releasing your knees nice and wide. Feet come together into a supine butterfly stretch. You can even let the arms come nice and wide. And let's just take a few breaths here and let everything relax now. Really connecting deeply into the core and the pelvic floor, feeling the muscles activated and all of this energy and blood flow in the center of your body. You can even take your hands to your hips or the lower belly. And with each breath, just let all of the muscles relax even more. Enjoy this connection and awareness that you've brought into your deep core muscles and your feminine center. one more deep breath. And sigh it out. Using the hands on the outside of the knees, let's guide the knees back together, taking the legs long, big full body stretch. And then rolling over onto one side, pressing yourself up to a seated position. Joining me here. Oh my gosh, that was awesome. You guys did great. I know you did. I know I can't see you, but that was great. That was super juicy. Thank you. I see you. I see you showing up for yourself. Thank you on behalf of your mind, your body, and your soul. Thank you for showing up for you today. You are a beautiful, sensual, radiant woman, and you absolutely deserve to feel powerful and pleasure in your life. Being a mom does not mean that you have to sacrifice your pleasure. If this video and this routine lit you up, please go ahead and share with one of your besties or one of your favorite mom friends. And also comment down below with your best emoji to describe how this felt for you. Maybe fire, maybe the woman dancing, maybe the lips. Awesome. Thank you so much. Remember that movement is medicine, okay? So as always, my sweet lady friends, stay rooted, grow wild. And this video is brought to you with love from Stacy. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos just like this coming your way. Bye.